guys ready? We're the Dillinger Escape Plan. It's great to finally be here.
Hi Greg, welcome to Croatia.
Thank you very much. We're very happy to be here.
Can you tell us how come Zagreb got onto your tour list?
Well, when we book our tour, we always kind of try to ask our booking agent, if there's any places that we can go that we haven't been, and it's starting to get kind of difficult to find places just because we've gone everywhere now. We've gone to Israel, we've gone to Greece, we've gone to Russia, we've gone to Malaysia and Indonesia and all these places I never thought we'd be able to go to. So we kind of it's important to keep going to the same places, but it's also important to go to new ones. And if there's people here that want to see us play, we love coming anywhere new. So.
Tell us a bit about your new album, One of Us is the Killer, because it's been out since May, and tell us about the feedback you got on the album, and what do you think of the album right now?
I feel like it's the most honest record that we've ever written. It was a very personal album to write. There was a lot going on in our lives at the time that had a lot of genuine emotion attached to it. So that album was written in a really turbulent time for us as a band and as individuals outside of the band, and when I listen back to it, I really feel like we were kind of like opening up a lot and purging a lot of things from ourselves during the recording of that record. It was written and recorded very quickly. So but as far as feedback goes, I try not to pay attention that much to it because there's nothing I can do now. Like, we've already put it out, so if someone's like, hey, your record sucks, it's like, we can't go change it now, All you can try to do is be as honest as possible. But so I don't really read that many magazine reviews. I just can tell whether or not people in the crowd seem to respond. And this record, the responses to the new songs are stronger than any new songs we've released since Miss Machine, which was 10 years ago. So it's a really good feeling to be able to have new things resonate. And there's a lot of new people at shows too, especially in the United States. We've had like a lot of new people coming to our shows, and that know the new songs way more than more popular older songs of ours. And that's really kind of a cool thing to happen this far into our career.
I have a question about one song from your new album. Okay. It's called Hero of the Soviet Union.
Right.
Could you tell me about the lyrics of the song, and who is it pointed to? Who are you singing to?
Yeah, that's really, I feel like a lot of my lyrics are self-directed, so it's probably, I think that song is to myself. No, I'm just kidding. I don't, possibly. I think most of the songs I write are kind of a mix of being directed towards somebody and directed towards myself. That particular song was just, there are a lot of people that were around our band at that time who were kind of users, like very like sociopathic type of people. They were leeches, and they have negative intentions, and they're trying to take something from you in exchange for something superficial, or they're not your friend. They don't want what's best for you. There's a lot of people in the industry like that, and living in Los Angeles now, I encounter that all the time. People that just want to exploit you or take something from you, or sell you on something, and those people are scum, and you see them everywhere. So that was kind of just more of a to me, I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people at that time in my life that I really had nothing in common with on like an ethical level or an artistic level, and I didn't know where they even had managed to get through the cracks, you know what I mean, to get into our inner circle, and they were kind of corrupting our band a little bit, like from the outside. So it was kind of just a way of like, you know, that whole record was a little bit of a wake-up call to push, to make sure you keep yourself guarded from you know, people that would like to, you know, exploit you for their own purposes, you know.
What about the name? What the Soviet Union has to do with it, or it's just a...
Well, a lot of the record is about codependency and self-destructive codependency, or having like a standoff with someone in your life that's very ego-based, you know. And most of the times when you're having a standoff with someone close to you, whether it's a girlfriend or a band member or a friend, it's not really about... it's not productive. You're just trying to win, and like and it's very similar to like a Cold War situation. You don't speak to one another that much. You're very defensive. You try you never try to concede any ground or find any compromise. And Ben and I had found ourselves in that position in our band, where I think we had lost. We weren't communicating as well as we should have been, and we had a lot of kind of walls that we had built up to one another around that time that are now gone. And I just felt that "Hero of the Soviet Union" is kind of was an ironic phrase, because obviously there were a lot of people that fought, you know, in the Soviet Union that believed that they were doing the right thing, but really you're not doing the right thing, you know. So I just thought it's like saying, you know, hero of the Nazi army or hero of the Soviet Union. It's just such a contrast. It's like there's people that genuinely believe they're doing good, but you're not doing anything good. And on another side note, Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, the enemy from Rocky IV, he had a medal that he had won from and his title was called like the Hero of the Soviet Union or something like that. And the working title of that song, when I was thinking of all that Cold War imagery, the working title of that song was Drago. That was like the demo title. So then like I, you know, put one and two together, and I was like, oh, Hero of the Soviet Union is much more poetic than Drago, you know. So there you have it. I don't think I've ever said that before. So that was you just got that, you know, unique fact.
I was curious about. I saw some live from Deftones a few years ago, and Chino Moreno was wearing a Dillinger Escape Plan T-shirt.
Probably a red one,
and,
right?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the friendship with Deftones and how that started. And
you know, we met those guys in maybe 2003, and we kind of started to become friendly with them around that time, and we've talked about touring together forever. And then we were originally supposed to tour together in 2007. Something, you know, happened. We couldn't, you know, we actually couldn't do it because Chris Penny left and joined Coheed and Cambria. So we had a whole tour with Deftones booked around that time, and we had to cancel it. And then I moved to Los Angeles in 2007, and you know, Chino lives there, and me and him, you know, started to become friends. And yeah, that's pretty much how it started. Is that Chino and I, you know, kind of became friends. And then when they went and did a tour a few years ago in the United States, you know, he was just like, hey, do you guys want to come? You know, do you want to come do the tour? And it's a no-brainer. You know, they're one of our favorite bands. He's one of my favorite, you know, singers, and that tour was one of our favorite tours we've ever done. Not just from a hangout perspective, and from being able to watch a band every night that you really, really like. So and since then we've just maintained a really, you know, kind of good friendship. And yeah, I mean, he's influenced us a lot. You know, I have, you know, we kick each other songs. You know, we send each other demos and you know, new bands to listen to, and you know, just try to stimulate one another artistically a little bit sometimes.
I've seen a live where you played with Chino Moreno. What was the cover from Depeche Mode?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, I saw the whole live, and at one moment you started bleeding from your head, and he was terrified by that. What moment did you get that injury on your head?
Well, I mean, I was really fucked up, first of all, so I don't remember that whole show that well, but I know that I hit my head on a cymbal, on one of Billy's cymbals, and I felt it, and when I felt that it was bleeding, then it was like, okay, I can make somewhat of a spectacle out of this, you know. So I mean, I obviously had the option to wipe it off and chose not to, just because I knew that it would be more, you know, so all the people that were there hated us anyway. They're all into like radio rock and radio metal and things like that. So I knew that they were already terrified of us, or already thought that we sucked. So I was like, fuck it, like I need to, you know, this is a blessing that I just got cut. Now I can make a spectacle out of it, you know. And yeah, Chino, when he came on stage, I remember him looking at me, and like the look on his face was just like, what the fuck is happening up here? Like, and he leaned over to me at one point and was like, you better not get any blood on my shirt, like, no, joking around. But yeah, that was crazy. It went by so fast I barely even remember it. You know, I was just trying to remember the words to the Depeche Mode song, because it's not a song that we've played a bunch at that point. So me and him were both really afraid of forgetting the words, you know. But it turned out all right.
So can we expect such delivery today on the concert? Because at the end of the concert, at the end of the live show, you break the whole stage. You trash the drums.
Right. I mean, we never really think about it. You know, if something happens. The vibe on the stage is different every night. You know, sometimes you're more into it than others. Sometimes you have a technical difficulty that takes you out of your zone a little bit. You know, sometimes you just can't. I don't like to think about it. You know, as you think about it, then it becomes a circus act. You know, and I hate that so much. Like when I can predict what bands are going to do, just because then, you know, you lose the punk rock attitude behind it, and then it becomes theater. And I don't ever want to feel like I'm doing theater. Like that was my biggest fear from the Golden Gods thing, was people coming to Dillinger shows and being like, he's going to be bleeding, and there's going to be fire, and they're going to break everything. And it's like I might sit in a chair today. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't want to breathe fire and kick shit over all the time, you know. But luckily, I actually do. So we'll see.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Welcome to Croatia, and have a good show.
So much, man. We're so excited to play tonight.